Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Northwood University Fashion Showcase Behind the Scenes webinar. My name is Melissa DeBoer, and I'm the Director of Campus Admissions. We are so excited for you to join us as we share some of the tactics and planning that went into this student-led event. During our webinar tonight, please feel free to use the chat box on YouTube to ask us your questions live. We will answer all the questions toward the end of the webinar. Here at Northwood, we have many different majors covering all aspects of the business world. The students involved in this fashion showcase come from all different majors, as you'll see. We are excited that you are taking the time to learn why Northwood University is a special place and potentially your future home. Your major will describe your specialty and your expertise. And as a Northwood student, you will start experiencing classes in your major in your first semester. All Northwood majors feature a common business core that prepares our graduates to be well-rounded leaders in any organization and industry, regardless of the specific major you choose. Our faculty are industry experts, and they leverage their business and life experiences to mentor and coach students. Northwood students feel connected and supported both inside and outside of the classroom. There are plenty of opportunities to learn and have fun. We embrace a philosophy called the Northwood idea. We believe in the power of free markets and entrepreneurial leadership to improve society and quality of life for everyone. Northwood students are determined to go make a difference in the communities they live in and companies that they work for or own. And at Northwood, we value hands-on experience. Our students compete, plan signature events, and pursue internships that add to their personal and professional profiles, as you'll see tonight. Our Fashion Showcase is an annual event that brings together students who plan, model, and execute the show. At Northwood, our Fashion Marketing and Management program is at the core of this event. I would now like to bring in Dr. G, the chair of the Fashion Marketing and Management program, to share some of the great details about what makes the fashion program at Northwood University unique. Welcome, Dr. G.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, everyone, for joining this exclusive show webinar series, Northwood Fashion Showcase. It's not just the signature event of the fashion department, but the Northwood University itself. I'm department chair, fashion marketing and management. Just brief overview about my department. Fashion, one of the most dynamic American businesses, and it's full of opportunities, and still remains as one of the largest employers in the country. And wide range of opportunities, not just to clothing, also as you see, we have students working in visual merchandising, retail buying, advertising, etc., etc. Why Northwood? Definitely an engaging classroom setting with real-time projects, students given internships, exposure through internships, guest speakers. They are given taken trips to trade shows and the annual student-run fashion showcase. Students who have been part of the team will be sharing you their planning, organizing, and the challenges and their wonderful opportunity in the later section of the webinar. Courses really immerses students in the ever-changing fashion business, provides insights in wide range of sectors, right from the raw materials till the consumer retailing. Textiles, they're given exposure to even designing, product development, and the courses offer unique opportunities in a sense, application of theoretical concepts, whatever they study in every assignment and the projects they do.
Thank you so much, Dr. G, for joining us and telling us a little bit more about what makes Northwood and the fashion program so special. We will be bringing you back at the end of the webinar to answer some questions. But until then, I'll see you later. And we are now going to give you a preview of what the show looked like during this year in the virtual setting.
So the theme this year is called Long Lasting Looks. It really says it all in the title, where we wanted to showcase looks that can last all year round, as well as you can be sustainable in all of your fashion choices.
Being sustainable and reusing materials is so important in today's age. The fashion industry is actually one of the most polluting industries in the world right now. And so even with our little show showing how you can reuse and recycle and be more sustainable every day really does a lot in people's individual lives.
Northwood Fashion Show is a completely student-run and organized show that has been going on for 20 years since its founding in 2001. And really, it just kind of gives a different take on the business and really what you can do with fashion.
With the help of Northwood and the community, we're able to put on an amazing show. Supporting small businesses has always been important to me. And especially right now with hard times, it's really important to showcase them and help them in any way that we can.
It's important to maintain relationships with boutiques because people are not only knowing they're contributing to the show, but keeping Northwood in mind, knowing they're contributing to a student-ran show. We really do appreciate all their help, and they're always super supportive and super easy to talk to.
It's important to the Northwood Fashion Show to work with the community so that they know that we are here to support them in whatever we do.
So each department collaborates, every single day to get everything we need for the show.
So we have the finance team run by Tyler, we have the stylist team run by Kit, and productions is Alvarita, and I'm the marketing head. The 5 segments this year are hot and cold, opposites, complimentary, day and night, and coming back.
Due to COVID and everything changing, we actually had to move it virtual. We're obviously following all the state guidelines, and we're still being able to produce an amazing show.
It's going to be held online through Blue Jeans, March 26th on a Friday. Super easy to join. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait to see everyone there.
Behind all of the hard work is a strong leader, and it's my pleasure to introduce the executive chairwoman for this year's show, Hannah Novacek. Hi, Hannah. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for that wonderful introduction, Missy. I really appreciate that. That preview video was basically our promo video for the year. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm a senior here at Northwood University. I've gone here all 4 years, and I've always been involved in the fashion show. And my involvement kind of started before I even came to college. About 5 years ago, I was sitting where all of you were coming to the open house for the fashion show, and I completely fell in love with it, and I knew I wanted to be a part of it in some way or another. So my freshman year, I was a model. So all of our models are student models and faculty. Anybody can be a model. It's really fun. Any major, any size, whatever, you can join. It's super fun, super easy. And I fell in love with the show. I knew I wanted to be a part of it in a bigger way. And I saw the executive board, the students who ran the show, and I knew I wanted to do that as well. So my sophomore year, I became the model coordinator. So I was actually in charge of all the models, teaching them how to pose and walk and, show off their outfits in the best way possible. And having that position, I absolutely loved it and wanted to keep striving for those leadership positions. So my junior year, I became the productions director. So I was kind of all things logistics and thinking of the stage layout, what kind of music are we going to have, who's going to be, setting up our sound and lighting. How do we want that? What lighting do we want? Who do I have to work with to get those things? So really networking and putting myself out there, working closely with Northwood faculty as well as outside vendors and outside businesses to get their help and support. And then this year, my senior year, I became the chairwoman, and that was kind of my lifelong dream, is when I saw the show when I was still in high school. So it's a dream come true. As chairwoman, my job was to kind of create a theme and concept and deliver it to the rest of my executive board and show them my visions and guide them and help them run with this and really make this theme come to life. So as a leader, I'm in charge of delegating to all my team, keeping them on track, having a very strict schedule, trying to stick to that, as well as working very closely with everyone high up at Northwood. You get so much experience, and I used to be a pretty shy, closed off person, but this fashion show has truly opened me up, and I'm not afraid to talk to anyone now. I'm very bold, as you can probably tell. I'm smiling and laughing this whole time because I'm so passionate about this fashion show. And this fashion show has taught me so much about who I am as a person, who I am as a leader, and what jobs I want to have now. And I actually have a job out of college. I will be moving to California 2 days after graduation and managing a boutique where I will be able to put on local fashion shows for that boutique, as well as participate in LA Fashion Week. And I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity without having this fashion show on my resume. So I highly recommend. You don't have to be a fashion major. I am, but you will hear from the rest of my directors today. None of them are fashion majors. So it's amazing. We have accounting, we have business, we have marketing. Anybody and everybody can be a part of it. And it's truly an amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much, Hannah, for joining us. It sounds like you are just literally living the dream.
Yes, I am.
Well, we are excited for you, and we'll be bringing you back at the end when we start asking questions, okay? In the meantime, I'd like to bring up Tyler Pashik. Tyler was the finance development director for the fashion show. So Tyler, welcome.
Thank you, Missy. Hello, hello. Excited to be here. So a little bit about myself. I am a senior, graduating in 3 years instead of 4 in management, and also minoring in economics. So as Hannah said, I'm a part of the fashion show, but I am not a fashion major by any means. I served as a finance director, and this job was a lot of fun. And it is something I never thought I would get the chance to do. As a freshman, I would never think of myself as being in a director's position, doing all this important stuff, working with Northwood. So the finance director, they really work with community outreach, making sure we get the money we need to fund the show. The Northwood University Fashion Showcase costs about $15,000 to fully put on. And I was in charge of reaching out to local businesses, past donors, raising that money, and also overseeing a team of my amazing peers putting on fundraisers and things like that for our Northwood students. So since I am a senior, just like Hannah, I as well have a job lined up. I will be working as a mortgage banker at Quicken Loans in downtown Detroit, and it's actually where I interned last year during the summer. It was a lot of fun. I've been learning a lot about sales, and I really think that internship helped me in this role this year. And all the things I've been learning this year, working with the Fashion Showcase, are really going to help me out in the future. I've been learning a lot about my leadership style, how best to work with others, and really taking charge when things need to happen.
Thank you so much, Tyler. And I know Tyler on a personal level because he actually also has worked for me for several years. So I have seen this wonderful transformation into the leader that he is, and was part of watching him get to pick where he was going to live in downtown Detroit in this beautiful building. So it's always a lot of fun, and congratulations. You're going to have a lot of success in life. And so we're just glad that we were able to be part of it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course, next, running the marketing department, which is very important when it comes to any type of fashion showcase, is Marissa Almeida. Marissa, welcome.
Hi. Hi, so my name is Marissa Almeida. I also go by Mo, so that's why it's in the middle there. That's what everyone calls me here. So I am a senior as well. I am graduating, hopefully with a job in digital marketing, which I internshipped at a little startup in San Diego this year, so that was super fun, and that was all because of the show. So I actually started the show freshman year on the e-board, which is not something that's normally, not a normal thing to happen. Usually you start as a model and then you work your way up from there. But I was lucky enough to go on a tour before actually committing to Northwood with my friend Zoe, who graduated, and she was a very big part of the show her whole time here. And so she led me into that and let me be kind of like a general intern position, I guess you could call it. So I got to work with every single department that year. And then from there, my sophomore year, I got into marketing, doing content creation, which was super fun. And then I went to being a stylist, which was also super fun. Unfortunately, that got canceled, so I wasn't able to completely perform that, but I'm glad I got that experience. And now I ended up back as a marketing director. So it's been really great.
Well, thank you so much, Mo, for joining us tonight and sharing your experiences. We're excited for you to continue on your journey and know that you have had several job offers. So that's a great problem to have, right? To have choices. So we'll bring you back at the end of the show as well to answer some questions. So of course, we also have Alvarita Garcia. Alvarita is a junior here at Northwood, and she was part of the production, and she was the production director for the show. So Alvarita, if you want to take it on over.
Thank you. So yes, I am Alvarita Garcia. I'm a junior here at Northwood. I'm actually dual majoring in accounting and management with a minor in management information systems. So none of those are correlated with fashion, but that is not an issue when being part of the board or even being a model or anything. So I've been involved with the fashion showcase for 3 years now. I started off as a model, as most people do. But this year, so I was the director of productions. I was in charge of putting everything together from the ground up, starting from the runway layout to overseeing model coordination, the choreography, the music they were going to walk to, the lighting that they needed so they looked good on stage and on the camera. I worked with a productions team. Couldn't have done this by myself. So I also had a lot of Northwood faculty, Northwood Media Services, Northwood students. I worked with outside vendors such as West River Light and Sound. And together we produced this beautiful show that you guys can all see. But I coordinated all the meetings with the faculty. I was in charge of coming up with an agenda for all those meetings, and I was basically the point person when it came to the day of the show. So yes, unlike everyone else, I'm actually not graduating. So this position put me out of my comfort zone, and I hope to be part of it again next year.
Well, thank you, Alvarita, and good luck with the rest of your school year. I'm excited that you're going to be able to be part of the show again next year, as I'm sure Dr. G is excited about that as well. Now, obviously, it's hard to have a fashion showcase without a sense of style. So leading the style element of the show this year was Caitlin Howell. So welcome, Caitlin.
Hello, thank you, Missy. So as style director, I've always dreamed of having this role. I will go back to my freshman year. I started out as a model my freshman year. Like Mo was saying, that's typically how it goes. My sophomore year, I graduated up to being a collection stylist, which I loved as well. I was able to style my own segment. Going to my junior year, I was a student designer as well as collection stylist. the show didn't happen, but I was still able to immerse myself in a lot of that experience of being a collection stylist for the second year in a row to help me build my experience for becoming style director this year for the 2021 show. I have always loved the show. People have their things. They have auto show. They have the Stafford dinner here at Northwood. Fashion Showcase was kind of my thing. I had a close colleague of mine who was a fashion major that helped me fall in love with the show as well as the industry. I should have said this in the beginning. I'm a senior and my double major is in finance and marketing communications. So not finance or not fashion, but I still love it, and I was still able to get involved with the show despite not having a fashion marketing major. And same as style directors before me, they have been marketing majors, which that helped inspire me to be in the position I am today as well. Some things that this position has helped me learn is how to like HR situations, dealing with leadership skills, and being put in uncomfortable situations where you have to manage a team. Sometimes it's not going to be easy, sometimes it's going to be great. I was able to facilitate my 5 stylists below me as well as the student design coordinator. And being a collection stylist in prior years, I was able to understand kind of things they were going through, tasks they had to do. So that was better. I was better able to prepare tasks and leadership strategies to help them follow the things they needed to do and how to make a good show and get all those outfits on the runway looking great. I'm currently seeking career opportunities in anything from brand strategy, marketing, directing, creative directing, or fashion. And I look forward to those things to come. I've had a couple interviews this semester, and I'm just really seeing all my options and things like that. But I have always loved being a part of the show. I recommend it to anyone, any major. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. And I always love watching the fashion. So thank you for pulling that together for people like me. And finally, helping to bring everyone together is the executive secretary, Ben Dusick. Welcome, Ben.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. So yes, I was the executive secretary this year. I've been involved with the show for the past 2 years. Originally as a model, ended up joining a couple of people who was good friends with me, and they just got me involved that first year, and I was hooked from the moment. And I was lucky enough my second year to actually work with Hannah in productions. And I was then lucky enough again to be brought up to the big leagues with her. And as the executive secretary, my job was the underlying person who was involved in everything, every little pot. I was in charge of booking rooms, enabling meetings for everyone, and maintaining a whole calendar, figuring out what each director needed, making sure that they had it, and making sure that when the time came, we definitely had everything organized. Definitely has always been one of my strengths that I was very happy to bring to the table. Like a couple of the other members here, I am an international business major and supply chain. So this was not exactly where I saw my skills going, but it just goes to show that you don't really have to be like thinking that you're defined by your major here. Northwood has all the greatest opportunities of where you can find all these niches that you really enjoy. And yeah, I just was very happy that this was the last thing that I was able to close out my year with.
Thank you so much, Ben. Ben, I love how you said that. You're not defined by your major. You're just really defined about what you want to learn and the skill set that you want to learn and you want to be able to accomplish and bring to the table when you leave Northwood. So that's incredible.
Yep, it was great.
So, yes, well, we're going to bring everybody back on, and now it's time for us to answer your questions. So as a reminder, please use the chat box to the bottom right-hand corner of the video and ask away. And we'll bring our students and Dr. G back on to kind of help answer those questions. Well, before we get started in that, I'm going to ask a couple questions just to kind of kick us off. And Tyler, I think I'll start with you. So you're not a fashion major, you're a finance major. What skill set did being in the fashion show give you to help you land this great job that you just got?
That's a great question. So I'm actually a management major, but working within the finance department and leading the finance department of the fashion show really helped my communication skills, helped my selling skills, but most importantly, I think my leadership skills. I will admit that leading a team for the first time, did not go perfectly the entire time, but I worked it out. I was able to learn a lot about myself and learn a lot about working with others. I think that's really what I took most from it is leadership is not easy, but it is very rewarding.
Excellent. So then, before I jump in, I just thought I would ask, Marissa, is there anything that you would like to add to that? Because you're the marketing director and you're a marketing major. So how has this style show really helped you prepare for the next stage?
It's really kind of helped me in the same way that Tyler said, being a leader. As someone in marketing, I tend to put my head down. I do what I'm told. Tyler needs this, I do it for him. And it's really helped me kind of expand and talk to other people and collaborate and, see what does Tyler want? What does Caitlin think about this before just, I don't know, I'm very a behind the scenes person, and the show has really brought me to the surface, I guess, and I learned how to be with other people and make something that everybody loves and, really help me, just expand and be better in every way.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Dr. G, as far as, you are the person that, the department chair for this whole major that is the core of this unbelievable event. And what other things do you do in your coursework to help your fashion major students really prepare so that they're as well prepared as Hannah is as she starts to embark on her journey in the fashion world?
As you have seen, we have students across almost every major played a very important role in running this, conducting this successful event. And I guess we have to also appreciate them and congratulate them for organizing this first ever virtual event this year, which gave them an additional skill set. With respect to fashion major, they were given inputs right from the slides we have seen before. They're given inputs with the materials, the clothing aspects, apparel construction, and one of the important things about the fashion department in Northwood is that the business atmosphere, which gives them the additional skills to run the program and give them the additional skill of the leadership qualities. I think that truly adds that quotient when organizing an event of this magnitude.
Wonderful. So I do have one question. Do you have to be a designer to be in the fashion major? Oh, here's one. Do you have to know how to design clothes to participate in the fashion show is the question. So who would like to take that one?
I can answer that one. So you do not have to know how to design clothes to participate in the show. The models wear clothes that are provided by our generous boutiques we work with every year. We have a whole list of them. And there is one segment that is separate from the core 5 segments of the show called the student design segment. And that's where students are able to design their own personal collections. That's completely volunteer. They do not have to, collection stylists in the show don't have to know how to design clothes. Models don't have to know how to design clothes. And the e-board doesn't have to know how to design clothes either. But if you are interested in designing clothes, there is a student design segment for you as well.
So you don't have to design, but there's a student design portion?
For the student design portion, the methods have always been different. You kind of just do whatever your niche is. There's been years where student designers have painted on clothes, student designers have put graphic screen prints on clothes, they've done accessories before. Some have constructed their collections completely by hand. and sewing machine. So it's really up to the method they desire to construct their collection for that segment. But like I said, unless you are choosing to participate in the student design segment, the models that wear the main segment's outfits are all provided by local boutiques.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Oh, it looks like we have another question. Can you talk about any industry connections you made while working on the show? I think somebody mentioned that they received their internship last year because of it. So Mo, was that you? Oh, who was it?
I would like to. They collaborate with sponsors. They collaborate with the stores. They collaborate with retail outlets, and I guess every sector or every director collaborates with businesses outside. Say the finance collaborates with the sponsors. They network with companies from different sector, and again the stylist. The team collaborates with clothing businesses to get their clothes. So every department collaborates with and again I would say with respect to style exclusively, it's more towards the retail outlets and they get to collaborate with them.
Excellent. Oh, Tyler, are you trying to say something?
Yep, I can add some more onto that. I definitely agree with everything Dr. G was saying. In my finance role, I got to talk to some very important people around Midland, asking for their generous support, of course, for the fashion show. But not just local community members within the industry, but I also think that if you are a part of the executive board, you get to interact a lot with Northwood leadership and really see how, the business of a university runs, and, working with different departments like that. I know working with our marketing at Northwood, working with our advancement alumni, as a student, you don't get to do that. But our roles allow us to take a deeper look and see how the real business world works.
Excellent. So how many years has the style show been held? What was the first year?
This was the 20th show.
20th.
Wow. Okay. That's excellent. So you guys really had the groundbreaking year. So if you had to say one word that would sum up your experience this year with the show, what would you say?
I can go first. I would say adaptability. This was our 20th show, but this was our first virtual show. So that was definitely exciting.
Very good.
Yeah, my one word would definitely be perseverance, because the thing about this show that, first of all, it was the first year virtually, but at Northwood, this was just a struggling year for many organizations, and very happy to say that the fashion show was one of those that was able to persevere and, once again, as Tyler said, adapt and bring a good show. That was something we were very proud of, and we were one of the few organizations to really be able to make that impact to people, even at home. So that was definitely the best experience when it came to just persevering and making something out of a bad time.
I'll go next. Mine's more than just one word, once in a lifetime. Being a part of this fashion show is truly a once in a lifetime opportunity. Very few universities offer, a fully student run fashion show. And that's one thing that's really unique about Northwood. Whether it's the fashion show, the auto show, Stafford dinner we've all talked about, those are all student run. And you learn so much, not only about the fashion industry, but how to work well with others, how to lead a team, how to deal with higher up people, how to network with people outside of your community and outside of your comfort zone. So you learn more than you would ever expect, and it's truly an amazing experience.
I can go next. I would say innovative because, as mentioned, this was our first virtual show. So we were starting from scratch. We had no idea where to start, let alone where we were going to finish. So we basically put in new methods that the next board can use, a different way of thinking. Of course, they don't have to do it virtual, depending on the circumstances, but the plan is now set in place. So if they want to do something like that, it's there for them. So this was an innovation for the future.
I can go next. I would say my word is a little different, but gratitude. It definitely was very special of us to be able to have our show, especially with so many events this year having been canceled. My team specifically, and along with every other department on the board, my team was able to work with great bigger companies such as H&M, smaller boutiques streaming from Ann Arbor to Midland to Freeland, and the people we worked with, we were so gracious. They were open-minded, willing to still learn about the show, participate in the show, though it has been an unconventional year with COVID-19. And I'm just very gracious for that. I'm gracious for all the hard work that the e-board has put in. And I'm gracious that we were just able to have a show.
All right, Alfreda took my word of, I forgot what the word was, but another word would be flexible. Kind of the same thing, being determined. Normally, our show is kind of laid out for us. You know, we have the place to do it. We have the list of boutiques. We have our sponsors, and it's kind of just us playing along with those lines. But because of our circumstance, we had to, take what was already made and kind of rebuild something new out of that. And I'm so grateful that I was a part of this and got to learn a lot with everyone around us.
Well, thank you so very much for an incredible evening and sharing with me. I always tell people, and they say, what is so great about Northwood? I mean, there are so many things, and I think we have incredible faculty with industry experience, but I don't think there are very many places that have students like you. And I always say you will be surrounded by people that are passionate and driven about business, and you are all that. So thank you so much for making such an incredible event. And I hope for everyone out there that's watching, if you were as inspired as I am by these students and you want to learn more, please feel free to visit northwood.edu. You can schedule a virtual presentation, or you can come to campus for an in-person campus visit, because we are following all COVID-19 protocols, and we will be thrilled to have you on campus. Thank you again for joining us this evening, and have a wonderful night. Goodbye.